Hear me? Okay. I don't see that you're here. Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we're good. I'm just showing up as you as your image
Oh,
post in here. But I'm on mute and I don't have my video showing up for this.
gotcha. All right. And then now you can see my slideshow.
Started at 11 a.m.
Okay. How do I see if people are here now?
Do you have a participants button?
Yeah, I think my display is showing on my second screen though. Because you don't see you see my presentation with it not.
I don't see the presentation.
Oh, you don't see the presentation? So you don't see my screen?
Nope. There it is.
All right, there it is. Then I went from start presentation and then goes to my second screen.
Okay, now I see it.
There we go. Boy, this is not, yeah, this is not working. It's weird. Said screen stop sharing. This monitor one has been disconnected.
So I had it before. Saw it before, but I don't see it now.
All right, I think I'm on. Well, at least nobody showed up yet. All right, I'm on. I guess I'm on. Yes. Okay. All right. I'll hang up now. Hi, my name is Aaron Mills, the owner of DAAXIT. We are a contractor CFO construction company. And what we do is we help business owners grow, scale, and exit their business at the highest value. One of the tips that we're going to be talking about today is how to grow and scale your construction company. What I always say is if you're not growing, you're dying. So these are going to be one of the tips for you to grow your construction company. A little bit more about myself. Again, my name is Aaron Mills. I am the CEO of DAAXIT. I have over 25 years of experience, 20 years of it in the construction industry. My last W-2 job was a CFO for electrical contractor. We scaled that business from 30 million to 90 million. And we did that with the business owner stepping out of the business. After scaling it to 90 million, we were able to sell it for a 12 times multiple, which the business owner got to retire very wealthy. Today's topic that we're going to be talking about is opportunity cost. The opportunity cost, the definition of opportunity cost. My screen's not, I wonder if we need to start over. My screen's not sharing, is it? the people. I guess we could edit this out. Hi, welcome. My name is Aaron Mills, and I'm excited to talk about how to grow and scale your construction company. Strategic tips from a construction CFO. Now, I always say, if you're not growing, you are dying. Now, why would you listen to me? Well, my background is accounting and finance, and I've been in the construction industry for over 20 years. In those 20 years, I've been able to grow and scale construction companies vertically and horizontally. My background as a last time a W-2 employee, I was a CFO. At that point, the business owner has grown the business up to $30 million and was looking to exit the company. As he brought myself in, we were able to scale the company from $90 million and sell it for a 12 times multiple. Now, I want to kind of show you about an organization chart of a $30 million construction company. You may be bigger or larger, or you may be smaller than a $30 million construction company, but an organization chart looks awfully daunting and can look very overwhelming. And when a business owner sees this in general, they think about how much cost, how much overhead is baked in to run their business. What a business owner forgets to think about is what is the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the opportunity that you can actually make more money without making opportunity cost is the opportunity of making more money with making a decision. And what we're going to tie this conversation about is adding key personnel to the team. Without adding personnel to your company, it is very hard to grow. So we're going to go through an opportunity cost example with actual clients that we have dealt with. In these roles that we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about accounting. We're going to be talking about superintendents, project managers, CFOs, and CEOs, the business owner. So let's talk about a superintendent. The average salary could vary between $80,000 to $125,000. What a superintendent does is they allow the business owner not to be out on the field working with the attendants day in and day out. So the business owner is more likely to be able to work on the business versus in the business if they have a superintendent. A superintendent transposes the owner's company and culture out in the field. Superintendent makes sure that the right team is on the job. The superintendent maintains quality and efficiency. And also, the superintendent runs the team members. Now, if this superintendent can ease these areas for a business owner is able to grow the business. And the opportunity cost for a superintendent is between $250,000 to $2 million. Think about that. Let's say that you have a superintendent that can run 20, 50, 100 employees. That superintendent is out there running jobs for you while you have other opportunities to grow the company. And that's where the opportunity cost comes with the superintendent. I want to give an example of a construction company that I worked with that wanted a 10% EBITDA. And most likely, most people think, well, how do you get to 10% EBITDA? And you would think that you would have to work harder. And And actually, the opposite is more true. So we had this business owner that was working nights and weekends and wanted to get to 10% EBITDA. He was so busy that we couldn't even schedule meetings with him to help him grow his company. We did a deep dive of what he was spending his time on, and he was spending his time out working in the field, fixing problems, making sure quality issues were taken care of. What we recommended was promoting a superintendent within his company. He had an individual that had ambition and was able to take on leadership roles and eliminate the day-to-day responsibilities of the business owner. We were working with this business owner, and it was over the July 4th weekend, and he came back from his vacation. And we talked to the business owner, and we're not reaching the 10% EBITDA, but I was, a little bit concerned about that. But what I found out was during the July 4th weekend, the business owner was able to take 2 weeks off without his phone. More interesting than not, the business owner opened up and said that he's been spending more time with his wife, going to his children's sporting events, and having the best relationship with his family, just from hiring and promoting a superintendent. Not only did he get his life back, we also, in that year, grew his profit by 20% and hit 10% EBITDA. Another role that we talked about is accounting. So often, business owners talk about how much it costs to hire an accounting position, and they don't think about all the opportunity costs that accounting person saves a business owner. A accounting position typically sends invoices to customers, records accounting entries, millions of accounting entries, and dollars into accounting system. They also maintain payroll and conduct collections so that the business owner can make money and receive the money. The average salary of a accounting position is between 49,000 to 99,000, and the opportunity cost is 250,000 to 2 million. And we'll give an example where we had a construction company that was actually stuck in accounting. That is where the business owner was managing day-to-day accounting. The business owner wasn't doing accounting, but they were managing it. And they had no degree in finance and accounting, and they didn't know what they were doing. And they had an accounting person that did not know what they were doing. This office manager was overworked, underskilled, and what we found out was that when we were digging through their financials, their payroll was owed in back taxes of over $900,000. And over $2.3 million was in their over 90-day column from customers. So we're talking about millions of dollars. And not only was the outside, the payroll taxes and the collections to receivables, they were the pain points from the operations, and project managers were frustrated. The project managers were paid on commission when money was received, but we were not receiving the money. So what we did is we hired actually a controller and accounts receivable specialist. Now, the total cost for those two positions was between 150,000 to 200,000. So that is your cost. But the opportunity cost of getting the taxes figured out of $900,000, getting the $2.3 million in collections due paid, that was actually another $2 million of opportunity costs. Plus, our project managers received the highest commissions ever because money was received on time. I'll give another example of cost. Most construction companies have project managers. Their salary is between $90,000 to $150,000. Their job is to generate revenue, generate gross profit, and build relationships with clients. They manage and bid jobs, and they maintain the quality of the job and the profitability. Again, a business owner gets very stuck on paying out a high paying dollar for a project manager, but the opportunity cost for a project manager is between easily 250,000, if not over $5 million. If you have a project manager that can run multi-million dollar projects or $100,000 jobs, they are able to make you good money and overcome the cost of their salary. And we'll give an example where a business owner that we worked with did not hire a project manager. The company grew and the company hit record profits of $1.6 million EBITDA, and they actually outgrew their facility. So in that year, they bought a new facility and did some renovations. And knowing this from past experience, a business owner will get busy or will lose track and pay attention on building the new building for the company, and that takes time. And even though it might take only 5 or 10 hours a week, that is 5 or 10 hours a week that the business owner is not working on the business. Now the business owner is spending more time in the business managing a project of their building. So what happened? Well, the business owner lost sight on the company and the business actually contracted in size and barely broke a profit. So they went from $1.6 million EBITDA to basically break even because they did not hire a service manager slash project manager. Now, if they would have hired that service manager, they would have been able to maintain or grow their revenue and gross profit. Instead, they did not hire the person, and the business owner was working more in the business because of the new business, and they barely broke even. This was actually another business owner that we worked with that wanted to sell. He wasn't very profitable, had a great business. The owner was overworked. And what we did in the first year is we reviewed their profits job by job every month. The first year, we were able to get them profitable and pay out bonus and 401k. Second year, we added a service manager and promoted a project manager to a general manager. So so it took a couple years for this business owner to feel comfortable. So the first year we got them profitable, and then second year they were able to hire a service manager and a project manager, promote a project manager to a GM. Now the business owner works less, takes vacation, and the business will sell for a higher multiple because the business owner is not in the business every single day. So the opportunity cost right here, we're talking about millions of dollars just by hiring a couple people. And his business is going to sell for a higher multiple because he's not managing it day to day. Now let's talk about CFO salary. This is a salary that business owners, when they get to this point, have a very hard time justifying of spending $200,000 to $400,000 on a salary for a CFO, especially when they're not even paying themselves that much money. But what a responsibility of a CFO is to drive profitability, focus on the future of the business, and be that strategic right-handed partner to the CEO. They also prepare the business for succession planning and exit. So again, you think a CFO's average salary of $200,000 to $400,000 is a lot of money, but the opportunity cost is millions of dollars. And I'm going to give an example of my last W-2 job. Um, so we had a business owner that grew to $30 million and basically grew broke. They were flatlined for 3 years at $30 million and not making any money. And the business owner wanted to eventually exit out of the business and have their son take over the business. They brought me in, their CFO, as the last missing piece, and the father was able to step away from day-to-day operations. So between the CFO, myself, the vice president, their son, and a COO, we are able to grow the business from 30 million to 90 million dollars and sold for a 12 times multiple. So this was an example where uh, the business owner actually was able to step out of the business and not come to this business owner wasn't even this business owner showed up maybe once a week for 4 hours. And his company went from breaking even 30 million to 90 million and selling it for a 12 times multiple. That's over $100 million. So that's where it is very important for the business owner to understand their role and hire the right people. So if you don't hire people to grow your business, you're going to get stuck. And that's where we have to decipher the difference between cost and opportunity cost. So the business owner really needs to focus on growing the business, creating a culture, and maintaining the culture. They are also responsible for hiring the right people to grow the business. Also, the business owner is the visionary who communicates the long-term vision. A business owner is committed to the personal growth and vision as well of themselves. It is ideally that a business owner only works 20% in the business and 80% on it. So that is the critical reasons of why to put people on in the right seats in the bus and adding to the team is we have to be able to understand the opportunity costs, and that is really tied into the opportunity of you growing your company versus the cost of hiring new people. So I'd like for everybody to take a couple minutes here and think of 3 things that is most important to a role that you currently don't have. So I gave some examples of, let's say that you're a business owner and you are out in the field. So if you're out in the field day to day, how are you to grow your business? I gave an example as a superintendent. If you're a business owner, if you're managing projects, what are the 3 most important things about managing projects? And what role would you hire to manage these projects? Now, again, I can give you examples of bringing in a project manager may cost you a lot of money, but the opportunity cost is a lot higher. So 4 things I want you to think about are plan for growth, evaluate opportunity cost, and also I want to talk about cross training and SOP standard operating procedures. So why would I put this in this presentation is because I've seen so many times where you do have some of the pieces in place, and I'll just give an example. Let's say that you do have a project manager slash superintendent that is running a division for your company. And I've seen it where so often that for whatever reasons, it could be health reasons or retirement reasons or there's a conflict of interest and this person leaves the company. So just imagine if you have one person that is solely to run a division of your company and knows everything of that division, and there's zero cross training, there's zero SOP standard and operating procedures, you have a major opportunity cost here. So you could have a $1 million business, a $1 million division, or you may have like a $10 million division. But if you have that person, and I call it the most important person, if you have that most important person um, in that role and you have no cross training, no SOPs, you're set up for failure. I'm just going to let you know that there's a lot of risk and little reward. And a lot of times when I see these situations, this division's most likely a poor profit business where if you brought in somebody else to be cross-trained, or if you had some SOPs, or you were to promote somebody to help this person, then you would neglect your risks. So what's next? I know I spent a lot of time about opportunity costs and cost and how to grow your business. Now to put these pieces in place is something that you can't do overnight. A lot of times these pieces you want to figure out if you had an expertise person that's been there and done that. And that's what DAAXIT does. DAAXIT provides fractional CFO services for construction companies. And if you would like to schedule a discovery call, please reach out to me or go to our website at daaxit.com. And we would be more than happy to give you a free 90-minute consultation of going over your finances and what is next for your business. And thank you.